Now on Denver 7 News, it's do or die for the Nuggets taking on the Warriors to try to keep their season alive.
We'll have all your highlights along with fan reaction to tonight's game.
Within like 3 or 4 minutes, the street was flooded.
Plus, rushing water suddenly floods a Denver street. And wait till you see what it did to the homes, what those neighbors are dealing with, and why it could take a while to repair the damage.
It's basically a complete flood, cars underwater.
And a family of 6 that lost everything in a fire is getting some much needed help thanks to Denver 7 Gives.
We didn't expect all the help we were getting, so thank you. Thank you so much. We couldn't raise all that money.
Good evening and welcome to Denver 7 News at 5. I'm Bayan Wei.
And I'm Jacqueline Allen. Thank you for joining us. And we start out tonight with the Denver Nuggets getting that crucial win at home against Golden State, 126-121, avoiding the sweep and keeping the season alive.
And we were watching this throughout the night. This one came down to the wire. So without further ado, let's get right over to Denver 7 Sports Director Lionel Bienvenu. Lionel, the Nuggets barely pulled this one off.
Hey, barely counts.
That's right.
They faced elimination today, as you guys said, in the worst way possible, a 4-game sweep. That means you couldn't even win one game in the series. Nobody on the Nuggets wanted that. So they played desperate. They played with nothing to lose. They went all out. They fought to the end. And it ain't over yet. They came back to win Game 4 at Ball Arena, and you saw it right here on Denver 7. Sold-out crowd. It was loud and proud. Nuggets fans showed up today. Broncos quarterback Russell Wilson and Sierra, courtside seats for this one. Then 40 seconds into the game, here's the fight I was talking about. Draymond Green hit Nikola Jokic right in the face. Then Aaron Gordon and Green exchanged some words and some pushing. That set the tone for this game. Joker was coming in hot. He had back-to-back threes. The Nuggets took the lead. Joker had 22 points in the first half. Crowd going crazy. Wait, there's more. Bones Highland coming in hot off the bench, hit 3 third rocks in a row, and the crowd goes wild again. Nuggets by 17. The Nuggets led 63-52 at the break. Now to the third quarter, the Nuggets are hanging on. Joker with the fall away. Look at this beauty, 74-69. Then Monte Morris, he had 5 3-pointers in the third quarter. Nuggets led by 9 into the fourth. Warriors made their run, as they always do. Nuggets kept holding them off. Bones got by Clay like he was made of clay. The rookie showed up big today. The Nuggets had the lead by 10. But Golden State came back and they tied it. 121-121, under 40 to go. Monte Morris, what a game for him. They're back up by 2. Then last seconds. Here's the dagger from Will Barton, of all people. A third rock. He only had 6 in the game, but those 3 were huge. And the Nuggets win 126-121. They force a Game 5 in this series back in San Francisco, Steph, on Wednesday night. All right, let's get live to Ball Arena now and sports anchor Nick Rothschild. And Nick, the atmosphere there, man, it was like a Game 7 of the NBA Finals. The crowd showed up, the Nuggets showed up, and win is what they did when they needed it.
Yeah, man, Michael Malone once again praised the crowd in his post-game press conference, which we literally just got out of to run out here to make television for you guys. Malone loves to point out the fact that when he got here 7 years ago, Ball Arena, or then the Pepsi Center, was not this vibrant, and the fact that they were able to withstand a Warriors crowd a little bit tonight, and then the Warriors run there in the fourth quarter to continue to maintain energy, really helped lift this team to a Game 4 victory. Now, Michael Malone also mentioned that the thing that's kept him up late at night the last few nights is the idea of getting swept. That was the one thing he wanted to avoid at all costs in this series. He remembers how it felt last year against Phoenix and said it just sits with you in the middle of your stomach like a lead balloon, and they managed to do that. They managed to avoid the sweep, and they will send this series back to San Francisco. Malone also mentioned that the crowd really helped lift a young player in Bones Highland. Now, look, Bones Highland created the most buzz in this arena when he hit 3 threes in a row in the first half. It felt like the Ball Arena roof was going to come off. Fans were so excited. And Malone felt like Bones had his best game of the series for sure, perhaps even the year tonight against Golden State. And what a night to have it. Like we mentioned, you just don't want to get swept in this series. Can you win it? Can you be the first team to pull off a 3-0 comeback? We don't know yet, but Michael Malone feels like if they play the way they did in Games 3 and 4, they will have a chance to make history, Lionel.
All right, thanks, Nick. We'll rejoin Nick live later on in sports. We'll hear from Michael Malone and hopefully Nikola Jokic and Bones Highland as well. What a win today. The Nuggets are getting back on the plane, back to San Francisco for Game 5 on Wednesday night.
Fingers crossed for making history.
Yes. Let's
Thanks,
do it.
Lionel. All right, let's go now to downtown Denver, where Denver 7's Danny New is joining us live.
Danny, looks like you made yourself a friend down there. You spoke to a lot of fans, and they had to be absolutely pumped after this huge win.
Yes, it was crazy buying a jacket. We'll get to that in a second. My friend Flo just came up to me, 95 years old, been a fan of the Nuggets since they started.
85.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I am too.
I had 20 of your family members screaming to me at your age. And
I believe it.
That's so loud. How excited are you for this Nuggets win?
Oh my gosh. It was wonderful. I'm so glad I wasn't home alone.
No, instead you have 20 family members all
Yes,
pointing their
I
phones
do.
at me right now, getting
I
video
do.
of this.
Yep. They were all with me. We had such a great time.
It was a great time. Are you guys going to win in 7?
Excuse
Are you
me?
going to win the series now?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, a lot of your fellow Nuggets fans agree with you. Let's go to some sound from before when everyone was running up and talking to me and screaming about how great the Nuggets are.
Nuggets showed their character, and we're going to take it to San Francisco, and we're going to win over there and come back for Game 6.
That shot by Will Barton at the end, for sure.
That's a sick 3, yeah. Jokic
Yeah.
finds people. He just finds people.
Yup, had trust in him and put it through.
I have been a season ticket holder for hundreds of years almost.
And you guys are going to win the whole series, right?
Yeah, from the old time.
Everyone's just so excited. I mean, the equation of last second 3 to win a playoff game plus guys standing around with microphone just equaled always people yelling to me Nuggets are going to win the whole series in 7. So I'm really happy for them. They're excited. You know, obviously, historically, no team has ever come back down 3-0 in a series, but not if you ask all the Nuggets fans here today. They are pumped. Congratulations to the Nuggets. I'll send it back to you guys in the desk from Ball Arena, where people are just pumped.
We
Yeah, no
certainly believe
kidding.
it.
You got to
We
have
could
some
pull this
faith.
off. Yeah, and Danny, you're having way too much fun out there. Bring us back some pizza or something.
All right, cleanup is underway, as you can see here in Denver's Berkeley neighborhood. Look at this. This is a water main break this morning that flooded the entire street, multiple homes. You can see it's a muddy, costly mess.
My goodness, Denver 7's Patrick Perez is in Berkeley tonight, where that work is just beginning.
You can see crews are still working to drain the area where this water main break happened. I'm told it's going to take a long time, but this is definitely going to be a nightmare for some of these homeowners here. You're talking water damage and possible mold concerns. This is what residents living along and near Perry Street in Denver's Berkeley neighborhood woke up to Sunday morning. A constant flow of water downstream after a 24-inch water main break that lasted for several hours, piquing the interest of many.
And then within like 3 or 4 minutes, the street was flooded.
Jacob Parcel spoke with us by phone from the front porch of his home as it wasn't safe at the time to get to him.
It's basically a complete flood. Cars underwater.
The water main break didn't just flood cars, it also flooded multiple homes. This cell phone video shows the speed at which the water entered the basement of this house on Osceola Street.
I opened the garage door and it's just like this water rushed in. I knew something was wrong.
Josh and Aaron Maitland say the floodwater was just 4 steps away from the main level.
We just tried moving stuff up from the basement, just try to save what we could.
Multiple restoration crews contracted by Denver Water were staged nearby, ready to help pump water out of people's homes.
Denver Water does have a main break customer service policy that we work with customers through to help them out when a situation like this does occur.
Travis Thompson, spokesperson for Denver Water, says the size of the pipe and how much water flowed through it is why it took so long for it to drain.
24-inch pipe has a lot of water running through it, so sometimes it takes a while to get that water completely drained out and isolated to make it safe for us to be able to go in and make the repairs we need.
The aftermath shows the damage and mess the water main break caused. From washing out parts of the road to leaving cars stuck in about a foot of mud. The work here is just beginning.
It's not something you can plan for.
The homeowners I spoke with today told me they're not sure if they have flood insurance because it is Denver after all. Thankfully, they shouldn't have to worry too much about out-of-pocket costs because Denver Water should be taking care of the cleanup and restoration, but no doubt this is going to be a headache for weeks to come. In Denver, I'm Patrick Perez, Denver 7.
All right, thank you, Patrick. And also in Northwest Denver, another mess. The eastbound lanes of I-76 are still closed between Pecos and Federal. This picture shows you why. A semi rolled early this morning, leaking fuel, and as you can see, damaging the road and the concrete barriers. Colorado State Patrol says at least 2 cars were involved in this crash, and a third may have been involved but fled the scene. 4 people had to be taken to the hospital, fortunately minor injuries. Crews are working right now to clean up this mess, and those eastbound lanes have been closed since 3 this morning with no time estimates for opening back up.
Now to an update, the Silver Charm fire in Colorado Springs is now 100% contained. Fire officials say it burned 17 acres and that no structures were lost. They also confirmed that it was started by illegal welding. In Park County, the Allen Creek fire is now 50% contained. That fire is burning about 15 miles north of Lake George on U.S. Forest Service land. So far, it's burned 13 acres.
And it's not just Colorado dealing with these wildfires. Nearly a dozen other fires are burning all across the Southwest. In New Mexico, things are so bad, the governor has declared a state of emergency. ABC's Zoreen Shaw has more.
New Mexico's governor declaring a state of emergency across several large counties.
We need people to leave areas that have fire warnings. You need to leave. It's going to be a tough summer. Our risk season is incredibly and dangerously early.
The Calf Canyon fire merging with the Hermit Peaks fire, burning more than 54,000 acres combined.
We're basically focused on notifications of people out in front of this thing, communities, getting them ready to potentially evacuate, and that's pretty much the main operation.
A drop in temperatures and wind speeds giving more favorable conditions to the firefighting effort. Also in New Mexico, over 48,000 acres burned in the Cooks Peak fire. Businesses are doing what they can to help those working on the front lines.
We went ahead and made the decision to open and trying to help serve the firefighters and the first responders.
In Flagstaff, Arizona, the tunnel fire has burned more than 21,000 acres in the past week. Some residents losing everything.
To see everything burned is just very traumatic.
In Colorado, officials believe the Teller County fire started when a tree fell on a power line.
We're not fighting a fire that's coming at anymore. We're fighting a fire that begins inside or in the interior area of a subdivision.
Authorities expressing concern about the increase in fires. The Marshall Fire destroyed more than 1,000 homes in Colorado late last year.
They have gotten progressively bigger, progressively worse, progressively more just in the last several years.
So far this year, almost 1 million acres have burned in wildfires across the country, nearly twice as many as at the same point in 2021. Zoreen Shaw, ABC News.
Wow. All right, coming up, an important meeting with the president of Ukraine. The 2 members of President Biden's cabinet now on the grounds in Kyiv.
Plus, an Aurora family loses everything in a fire, but thanks to our generous viewers, they are finally getting back on their feet. See how Denver 7 Gives stepped in to help them.